Climbing aboard a military air transport in Austin, Texas, on a summer day, it's pretty easy to imagine. Getting off of a military transport in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, on a summer day is not so easy to imagine. The door opens, a hammer of heat hits you, humidity. You step off the plane. There are men with AR-15s. They're not looking at you, they're watching around you. So get in the building, you run to the building. I was there with a group of soldiers from Texas who were on what is referred to as a peacekeeping mission. I spent the week with them. Honduras is an amazing place. Tegucigalpa in particular. Not only is it a great word to say because it rolls off your tongue, it's a city built in a caldera. A caldera is the center of a volcano. Everywhere you look is up. You're in the hole. The country's in the hole. I had a chance to meet with the U.S. ambassador there, and he said, you know, Honduras has its problems. It's the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, but we're not as bad as Haiti. Every day we went out into the countryside, met the people, saw amazing conditions that folks would survive in and thrive in. Dust could be ankle to knee deep because it was the dry season. They lived in thatched huts. They take little pieces of broken glass to decorate their homes because that's all they had. But they still wanted it to be pretty. It was our last night there, and there were 4 of us who had come from the U.S. to do news stories about this. And we went to dinner. And we went to one of the restaurants that, of course, serves the rich visitors. And we ordered steaks. And it was almost obscene. Now, you have to understand that before we went to dinner, we left our hotel for one last time. And every time you would leave the hotel, you would be greeted by a horde of little children. And these little children lived on the streets in boxes and under buildings. And most of them had handicaps because being so poor, they still use a substance called thalidomide there for morning sickness. Thalidomide causes horrendous birth defects. And these little kids knew how to get money out of people. They come up to you, dinero, dinero, dinero. It's money, money. And they touch you with their fingers, which were 1 or 2 or 3 growing on a stump at what you would call your elbow. It worked. We had told our taxi driver to pick us up after dinner. Our dinner, you order a steak, you get a 24-ounce steak. It's obscene. Nobody can eat that much, but that's what they gave us. So we, being good Westerners, said, well, what we want is something they'd never heard of, a doggy bag. Because we decided to chop up our meat and we were going to take it back and pass it out to the kids. Our taxi was late. So we're standing out on the street, and out from a movie theater across the street runs this little boy, about this tall. And he starts begging for money. And we're like, well, who do you help? The one in front of you. So we'll give you this. And our one man who could speak the local vernacular of Spanish, 97% of the people cannot read or write. So it's a verbal language. He said, we'll give you this if you promise us one thing. And the kid touches it. He feels it's warm. It's carne, it's beef. He started to cry. We'll give you this, but you must promise to eat it now. You can't save it. You can't wait 2 or 3 days. You've got to eat it now. We didn't want him to get sick. Would you do this? Yes, yes. And he kissed our hands, literally. We give him this meat. He thanked us. He bowed. He didn't know what to do. He ran back across the street and he shouted out, and out of the bushes came 10 or 12 other kids. And he proceeded to give it all away. That little guy, I still don't know his name. But he told me everything I ever need to know about what people can be, how people can serve, and how they can be generous. And if we can come anywhere close to being that little guy, we will have lived a great life.